Welcome back to Self-Made is a Toxic Myth. On the one hand, Metallica is the story of one of the most legendary metal bands of all time. But on the other hand, it's the story about a mediocre white guy failing upwards due to money and privilege. Have you ever noticed that Lars isn't good at drumming? Like, really not great. Like, it's kind of incredible.
Justice is served right here, right now for you. We have to start it again?
Why, especially in their early days, would the band keep a drummer around who can barely keep a beat on a good day? The answer is that Lars was born rich and privileged. Lars Ulrich is the son of famed tennis player Torben Ulrich, who in turn was the son of famed tennis player Einar Ulrich. That, my friends, is what we call a dynasty. Now, Lars got interested in music at a young age, so his grandma bought him a Ludwig drum kit. A Ludwig drum kit. Let's say she got him the basic model. In 1971, the cost of an average Ludwig drum kit is about $500, which is $38,000 in today's money. Remember, Lars had just shown an interest in music at this point, not a talent for music. Your family able to throw thousands of dollars on things you're merely just interested in?
Just real confusing sound.
It's just jacking the vocals all up. I mean, it's clever and everything, but I don't see what it does to it.
I think that's how you hear it, dude. I mean, that's fine. I'm just trying to do something different.
I mean, I'm used to having the drummer do the beat part. You know what I mean? Holding it together.
Then Lars moved from Denmark to Newport Beach, California in 1980. Cost of that flight in 1980, about $3,200 in today's money. Now, Lars' plan was to become a tennis star like his father before him, but he didn't qualify, so he turned to his other interest, music.
Why don't you try getting a more solid beat?
Regular?
Oh, well, you can call it regular.
Call it regular.
No, I'm trying not to call it regular, because I know it bugs you when I call it regular. So a little more solid then.
In 1981, Lars fell in love with heavy metal via the metal band Diamond Head. In fact, he loved them so much he flew from San Francisco to London just to check out one of their shows. You know, just like you or I could do on a whim. The cost of that flight in 1981, about $2,000 in today's money.
What I'm hearing is... choose my words carefully here. It's pretty straightforward. You know, the guitar shit, it's a little stock. So I started trying to introduce some kind of edge to it from the drums.
Now, Lars is hooked on music and decides he wants to play heavy metal too. The only problem is he doesn't have a band, but that doesn't stop him from getting permission from Metal Blade's founder, Brian Slagle, to record a song for the label's upcoming compilation album, Metal Massacre. Now, could you, with no demo and no band, get the head of a record label to let you put out a song they haven't heard and you haven't even written yet? Could it be possible that there was something that greased the wheels there? At the same time, Lars puts out a newspaper ad, meets James Hetfield and Dave Mustaine, and after stealing the name Metallica from his own friend, they start recording demos. By the way, do you know how expensive it was to record your own demo in the 80s? Even a cheap one, recorded in a garage like they did, you still needed a tape machine in the 80s. There's no digital option available, right? Don't worry though, Lars just happened to have a TEAC A3440, a 4-track reel-to-reel tape machine. And while it certainly was one of the most affordable home machines on the market at that time, that still meant it cost $1,100, or $4,400 in today's money. Basically, Lars had high-end Apple laptop money. This gave the band an edge in a time when being able to record your own demos rather than having to rent a studio to record your own demos was a huge luxury.
You know, it sounds too stock. It sounds too normal to me. That, I mean, you know what I mean? You're saying this shit so you can get your point across about doing a drum beat.
I think it's fucking stock. Which part of that is unclear to you? I think it sounds stock to my ears. I mean, you want me to write it down?
Now, as I always say in these videos, that doesn't mean Metallica isn't talented, except for Lars.
So we got to do a double hit.
What the
Somewhere.
fuck?
Yeah.
What are you? What?
That doesn't mean they didn't work hard, except for Lars. Actually, that's not fair. Lars works really, really hard at keeping a beat.
If we're doing 4, we do a double hit on the third one. Okay.
That doesn't mean that they're not one of the most legendary metal bands of all time. What it does mean is that they were able to become one of the most legendary metal bands of all time because they had access to resources and connections that most other bands didn't have. Because those other bands didn't have their own version of Lars. Remember, no matter how good your music is, if you can't get it in front of the right people, the right target audience, it doesn't matter. Side note, I will give Lars credit for one thing though. He was totally right about Napster, which I will go into in an upcoming video. So, if you're an indie artist like me, take a breath. Go easy on yourself. Every single artist that inspired you, that you look up to, they all had help in some way or another. They didn't do it all alone. Nobody does it on their own. The self-made artist is a myth. Every artist is community-made. After all, it's a lot easier to seek and destroy when you've got fuel.
It's all right. We're not in no hurry to go home.